Let's talk sport now. And as I said just before we went into the break, there's some good news for the Hammers fans after their win against Liverpool at the weekend. A Czech businessman completing a takeover or deal to buy part of the West Ham club. Daniel Kretinsky's investment group 1890 Holdings has acquired a 27% share. Well, joining me now to discuss further is Graeme Bailey, editor of Knees Up Mother Brown, the West Ham fan site and forum. Afternoon to you, Graeme. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Chris. Howlett, by the way, not Bailey.
Sorry, apologies for that. I was going to compliment you on the name of your fan site and forum. Love
you
that.
Got the site right. That's the most important thing, KUMB.com. So,
well, thank you very much.
Good.
Well, thank you for joining us. So is this move going to be welcomed by fans then?
I think so. It's looking at the reaction so far, it's generally been well received. There is clearly quite a lot of supporters who aren't particularly keen to see the current regime continue. So I think all of those fans are, quite happy to see some fresh investment coming in, a new face in the boardroom.
And it's obviously not a controlling stake, but could this be the beginning of the end for the Gold and Sullivan ownership at the club? And why has that been an issue? Well,
yeah, I mean, it's been rumoured that this is just the initial purchase by Kretinsky and his group partners. It's 27%, I think, they've come in at. But it is, has been suggested that eventually they will be looking to take full control of the club. This stake does give them the second largest shareholding in the club. Only David Sullivan with 38.8% has a greater stake in the club now. David Gold, who was the second largest stakeholder, is at 25.1%. So he's down into third now. In terms of what the issues have been, I mean, I think we'd have to arrange a special show to arrange that, because there's a whole host of issues that fans have had with the current board over the years, stretching back to when they first came in 2010. But a lot of them kind of centre around the ground and the fact that it was kind of missold in a way. A lot of supporters were really not keen to move and, were told various things like, for example, the pitch would be no further away from the stands than it was at the bowling ground, which obviously isn't the case, and that, we'd have a world-class stadium for a world-class team. And, of course, the stadium, I think much of it is still on, on scaffolding, things like that. And,
I thought fans loved the stadium.
Things are clearly improving on the field. Sorry, go on.
I thought fans loved the stadium, your new home at the in the Olympic Park.
Well, I'm not sure how long it is since you've been there. Well, but I mean, there's always, there's going to be a split. I think a lot more of the older fans who have been going to Upton Park for many years, were really reticent to move and aren't that keen. But the thing is with the new stadium, it's like anything. It's going to take time. It needs to create its own memories. You mentioned the win against Liverpool in your intro there, and things like that are only going to, help that situation improve. But it's certainly been a real bone of contention for many supporters moving there. The fact, the fact that you're so far away from the ground. I mean, every single visiting team that comes along, you get some fans who are critical of the view and the journey to and from the ground and such. So no, you're always going to get a mix, but I think people are gradually warming to it, and certainly results like Sunday's aren't going to do that any harm at all.
And what's paved the move? Is it the success of the club on the pitch, or is it West Ham? Or is West Ham an attractive investment regardless of form?
I'm not a money man, so I'm probably not the correct person to ask about that. I mean, if you ask me, I would always stress that West Ham is a fantastic business to be involved with, I guess, as a lifelong supporter. I would imagine that the club's current upturn in form, which has been led by David Moyes, and it's absolutely incredible what he's done at the club, must have, attracted certain people to the club and investment. But the current board, David Sullivan, David Gold, have always been talking about getting additional investors on side from the moment they came into the club. I think they recognise rightly that they're not in the same league as the owners of some of the other clubs. And for West Ham United to prosper and to keep up a challenge, then they need to, try and find that sort of investment. And this is certainly a really good step. Kretinsky is obviously a very wealthy man. Made his money. Still very young, still only 46, which is a testament to how good he is as a businessman, I guess. We know he owns stakes in Le Monde, German retail giant Metro, the Royal Mail, Czech News Centre, Sparta Prague. Of course, he's chairman there as well. So he's done incredibly well for himself. But yeah, I mean, I would imagine that, as I said, they need the additional investment for West Ham to continue to challenge at the top. It's, we had a situation on Sunday where we lost Angelo Bonner to injury. and there isn't really a ready-made replacement, and that's something that the club need to address in January. You know, whereas perhaps a Manchester United or a Chelsea would have 3 or 4 players they could just slot in, you know, but West Ham haven't got the capacity to do that right now. You
talked of West Ham's success so far. Where do you think the club could end up at the end of the season? Perhaps a chance of silverware?
I've been supporting this club since the mid-1970s. I'm actually a bit of a glory hunter, because the first match I saw West Ham play on telly was the 1975 Cup final, and the following year we played in the Cup Winners' Cup final, lost that one unfortunately, and then 5 years later we won the Cup final, beating Arsenal, and the following year after that we got to the League Cup final. So it was wonderful being a West Ham fan in those early years. Unfortunately, 1981 was the last time, you know, or 1980 was the last time we won anything of note. Can we do it? Chris, I'd love to think we can. I'd love to think that, you know, we could win a cup this year. I mean, we're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, going really, really well in the Europa League. But it's just this, as a West Ham fan, you kind of have this inbuilt eternal pessimism, and it's really hard to shake. So it's kind of fingers crossed, I think, is probably as good as you're going to get in terms of optimism. But we hope so anyway. We'd love to see it. You know, it's certainly our turn.
Well, good luck and fingers crossed. Thank you very much for joining us here on LBC News. Graeme Howlett, editor of Knees Up Mother Brown, the West Ham fan site and forum, joining me live here on LBC News. It's 19 minutes after 3. Your headlines are next.
Right, so we're here in the offices of a Late Late Show with the host of a Late Late Show, James Corden.
Hi.
Big West Ham fan.
Yes. I'm big Knees Up Mother Brown man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm regularly on the general discussion page. There's always someone who's got some information, so I love it. Yeah. It's great. Yes, it's excitement surrounded by imminent disappointment. That's what it mostly is.
Get on the forum at kumb.com. Come on, you irons.